Hey everybody, we're here with another exciting round 7 matchup. Tonight it's going to be Bregan and PD versus Murder and Jay, two of the better teams in the tournament. Bregan and PD coming in undefeated versus Murder and Jay, on the other hand, facing elimination. So this should be a good one. It's going to be kind of an all-out battle between two of the giants of the tournament, and no matter what, there's going to be an exciting outcome. Either we're going to have a defeated, undefeated team or an eliminated giant of a team. So it should be exciting either way. What do you think is going to happen here, Sandal?
It's anyone's guess.
Well, I mean, I've been playing with Murder and Jay a lot. I know that they've been prepping specifically for Bregan and PD coming into this. I don't know what's going to happen here, but if I had to guess, I'd say that they have as good a shot as anybody of taking down the undefeated team. So if you want to just get right into this, I'll go ahead and count us down and we can start this up. Let's start the video in 3, 2, 1, go.
And beginning the match.
And it is going to start right up for us. A really good war start for Bregan, as I'm accustomed to seeing with him here on Palace. Looking for that early vibration again.
You neither?
Nope.
Usually he's looking to get some help from his partner with those boost mines, but we see no boost mines on PD this time. Rock shot coming out of Murder right away. Bregan not looking like he's going to need too much help to get to that vibration, although he is kind of getting jammed up on a second draw here.
Yeah, he's going to be first shield.
Only 3 aura on Murder.
Psycho shot?
But 3 aura is going to be enough. The Judge of Ares is going to take that down.
Yep, and it didn't cost any of Bregan or PD shields.
Excellent Judge of Ares, and we do see that little bit of help that we were talking about coming
from
PD to get him up to that vibration. And I'll tell you a little bit of a spoiler alert. Murder and Jay sort of came into this thinking that this was what's going to happen on Palace, so I'm interested to see how they handle it.
Ah,
there
so that's
is.
why Murder was holding on to his aura at his base. He had vicious balance.
They had planned for Bregan to be boosted up. I was
whatever, we got a lot of damage on there, so.
Yeah, I still got Rand in hand.
Vicious balance is going to be pretty hurtful, but they're still managing to keep their composure and their lead here. The Judge of Ares is doing its work. Jay with no shield, despite having +2 damage. The boost mines coming out from both is going to put that vibration right back online almost immediately.
Looks like Bregan might even have another boost mine at his base to work with.
Save it, just in case.
The vicious balance did some work, but it really, I don't think did what Jay and Murder wanted it to do there in crippling Bregan from his arsenal. It might have slowed him down a bit, but it did cripple him.
Yeah, it can be very difficult to completely wipe out someone's aura when teams are running around with a lot of boost mines.
And that's just gonna be a pretty quick win there, despite the strategized attack with that vicious balance taking down the aura count and countering the early vibration.
I don't want to do that.
Just too much early aggression. The Judge of Ares just really, that was a huge play there by Bregan.
Yours?
Yeah, they managed to have enough tools to have a strong offense to seal the deal with against Murder and Jay.
Then I'm just gonna play something a little.
Yeah, just good old-fashioned vibration blaster there, and there's just some big hits, and the lack of shields is going to be an issue. You're facing off against players that are as experienced as Bregan and PD.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and Murder is known for being very good at defense with the shields that he carries.
He's the shield guy. Judge of Ares might be better against Murder than most players.
Well, that's good. I told you we were going to get him out before the match.
Well, as we're saying, that Murder starts with no shields here. 5 aura in hand and a purple. Kinda curious as to what that can be.
Be a heat. Okay, it's a decoy.
Here, Bregan calling for the heat and getting the decoy instead.
I'm getting out of here.
Putting those lasers on Murder, just trying to keep some pressure up. Murder does now have a defense. You see him with 8 aura, maybe he's working toward a vibration build of his own.
Okay. I have Lunar Force.
Maybe he just drew a lot of aura.
Play it. I'm gonna hold it. You can play it. I'll play it whenever you want it.
Another decoy coming out now from Bregan,
Oh, he
despite having had
overrides
some
it, though.
turbulence, but he overrides it, telling you that his prioritization of that skill wasn't exactly too high, not relying on it as a strategy.
Alright, well, we traded. They're
Perhaps
both
if
on me.
Jay had no shield, he
Yeah,
might have
coming
been
over.
more inclined to keep it.
That's a good point.
Damn it.
He is going to take, it looked like one of the swords, I'm not sure which, but Lightning Sword taking his
Sorry, I fell.
fortress. The fake out by Murder is going to
What?
be good
I
to
hit
take
it,
the
I
wall
hit
of
it,
fire.
It just didn't block.
Bregan's saying that he pressed the button there, but that could have been an aura thing, or it could have just been a sticky button, I'm not sure. He does have the heat that he was calling for earlier, but he's being pressured
Sorry, I'm
quite
taking a huge
difficultly
beat.
now, and he doesn't have a shield
That's
to
okay.
deal with
Okay,
it.
but there we
He's
go.
gonna die, but his
Where'd he die?
partner's not too far
Right at
away,
the
so
end.
it shouldn't be that big of a deal for PD to grab him, especially with 2 shields in hand. Lightning Sword's not gonna
Great
connect the
defense.
Murder. PD showing great composure there. Not sure if this Lunar Force is working. Not sure whose advantage it's working to, really. Seems like it's working to Jay and Murder's advantage. 2 blasters.
Yeah,
Get out of there.
slightly have the edge, I agree.
He just seems that way, but you know what? As we're saying that, it's kind of going the other way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Bregan's, I see him playing with that
That
character
uses
lock
sting,
on there, teammate lock on. I just can't do it.
Go
That
for it.
just makes me uncomfortable. I can't do that myself.
I
That
wrestle
was
with going back and
real
forth
hard.
with it myself, but a lot of players don't like to do it.
I just can't. I can't do it. It just screws me up too much. I think it's very valuable in instances where you're using things like friendship and that stuff, but to me, it's just not worth it.
Oh my goodness.
That +4 is pretty scary on Bregan now, though. Twist laser is going to be just hammering the damage down. Slide laser for the extra angle. I mean, that's 6 damage
Takes
laser.
out
is-
Jay too.
That is just nasty. And I'm surprised to see that we haven't had an answer to that by Murder and Jay, being as methodical as they are in their arsenal building, and as studious as they are of their opponents.
Oh my god, he was able to shield
Well,
the
they
bolt.
do have the shields, but they just might not have the right ones.
I'm just surprised we haven't seen a
Flash
Purify
Hull.
or an Armoros or a Return to Nature even, something of that
where am I?
nature from Murder specifically. Quantum Decay is
That's
going
okay,
to
I
do
don't
some
mind that.
work, but really that's not going to slow down the 6 damage Twist Laser all that much.
If I was Jay, I would almost want like an erase shell or a vacuum wall
I'm coming over to
just
you.
to get rid of those lasers.
I'm
If I
dead.
can't
Shit.
purify
I fell
'em.
off, too.
It's another thing that I'm used to seeing from Murder and Jade. Murder likes to run that vacuum wall. He likes to run it a couple of times, so I'm surprised we haven't seen that come out. Unless it's just that he hasn't been targeting Murder in awareness.
They did adopt the quantum decay, so
Oh,
maybe
fuck.
they were worried
Yeah,
that they
other
wouldn't
side.
have the aura for the
Yeah, that's okay.
high
good
core
point.
shields.
And that's going to be game 2 to Murder and Jay now, taking him down there. It looked like PD was close to the pickup,
Alright,
but just
I'm gonna
couldn't
go with
manage to
Faith in
get there
Nature
under
here.
all that heavy pressure.
Okay.
Fairly
on
impressive
lane.
victory for Murder and
Yeah, what do
Jay,
you think I should go
despite
with
that
next?
monstrous +4 damage out of Bregan.
Yeah, they had some really good
I'm gonna go with
capitalization
Rock
on
Shot Kai.
double team pressure on their opponents,
Yeah,
and
no,
I think that's what gave them the edge for that match.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was talking about how they didn't, I was interested that they didn't really have much of an answer
I'm gonna go
for that.
Nature then.
stat buffing, but they really didn't seem to need an answer other than just keeping with their game plan of keeping
That
the
one's
pressure up. So,
close.
it worked.
If I hadn't fallen off, I would have been okay.
Yeah,
but,
was it
barely
Murder
tripped
got
off of
some
nothing.
great he
That's alright.
peeled away about 2 shields, I think, from Bregan with
Just gotta
his
speed
lightning
up.
sword, which was
Mhm.
really
Okay.
good at putting that tilt pressure. I think when you got 2 people at your base, it's just
Also, I
Get
think that's
off me.
something that Murder is methodical about in general. He loves that lightning sword, and he
Hold
knows
up,
how
I'm
to
gonna be
coach
a-
his
the
partner
black
into
protagonist, so I
timing out
apologize.
the attack correctly. I've partnered with him plenty of times where he has sort of coached me into into being able to get rid of people's shields with that lightning sword. It's something that I feel like he should be known for. It's one of his strengths. You know, he gets right up in your face with that lightning sword. He'll call out the timing for the attack, and he'll perfectly execute it. It's very difficult to deal with unless you know that's what he's doing. And even if you do, you're going to have to be prepared for it, or else you're going to lose some shields.
Yep.
As a jumper, and that I'll tell you, there's little else that's more frustrating. You need your shields.
Yeah, even if you know, you might traditionally go with orb or something, or amulet, that's not gonna protect you
I'm not
from
going to help you
lightning
against the lightning sword, and I'll tell you, he usually packs 1 or 2 in his arsenals, and he looks to combo them with his partner timing attacks, and he does very well at it. So that's something that I'm very accustomed to being on the other side of.
It's okay.
And it's annoying. Not sure if this match is going to start up pretty quickly here, if we're going to need to jump ahead. Let's take a look. It looks like it's going to start up pretty soon here, so I think we can probably go ahead and just wait this out. A very exciting first couple of matches here.
Oh, I don't have it on
So
the right
they
map.
chose to go backwards, so we're heading the lane
Oh, that's
now.
probably why they're
Yeah, an interesting choice. Backwards. Now, do you know who had the choice and who had the direction here? I'm not sure which is
I'm
which.
not
Yeah.
sure, but I'm getting the sense it's Bregan and PD if they with their
It's
rate
not an ideal
palace
start, but it's a
win rate.
start.
It seems like they like to start out on a good note.
Was that you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so it could have been
I don't know
that.
that.
I guess
Then again, Murder does hate
Play
sign,
defensive to
so
start. I don't have
this
much
is true.
defense.
Murder does not like saying he does not like to go backward from Palace. He'd much prefer to go the other way. So that's a fair point as well. It looks like Bregan had a pretty tough start here.
Map out of a start.
Just not drawing much
Hang on, I'll
aura.
come over to help you in a minute.
Having to overwrite things that he's not wanting to. It's a blazing deck, as we can see, or maybe not fully blazing.
Oh, great
Excellent jump. I mean, those I'm never unimpressed by those. Amazing to me how he does that, and I need to study that because it's an amazing technique.
KD just has some great key palm pressure for 4 damage.
This is a map that is, if I had to guess, more inclined to be something that jumpers would gravitate toward. Both teams having 1 of each.
I can break that off,
It makes it
Jay.
so that there really isn't a clear advantage there.
Gotta get more.
But
all
I
attacks.
personally do believe this map is something somewhat favored toward the jumper anyway.
Murder's got 3 shields too. At least
What?
one. He's got flash hole and he's got fortress.
With the tiger strength there, and a dash.
Sorry to barge in, but I did post it in the chat too.
Oh my
They chose
goodness.
Palace, we chose
Come
reverse.
on.
Aha,
Ah,
Careful.
interesting.
a wise choice, I would say.
I mean, after all, Murder, when you
I'll
play
go
with
with
him,
that
he'll
one.
skip sign. So
Religiously. Bregan is going to take the rock shot with that flash hole.
Oh, shit,
He
you ran.
is
Okay,
going
you got
to
in there.
lose the flash hole. Now dealing with heavy pressure. Successfully dodging the willows.
It's
taking
no
one
secret
there.
that we don't like highway.
In after you. Oh, what
Oh,
the
An
fuck?
accidental
Wrong
ice sword
button.
onto PD there is going to be unfortunate. And heavy pressure coming out of Murder and Jay just with the rock shot willow combination. I'm not unfamiliar
Alright, what
with
do you
this
want?
strategy, and it's very difficult to deal with, especially
Okay, then go
when
ahead.
you've lost your shield, as Bregan did there.
Yeah, it just
yeah,
moved to
and it,
support you,
it
then
can
got
be
stuck.
annoying to have to try and hit someone that's got
Yeah,
3
that's okay.
shields when
Bill,
you know
Jay,
they
you
got
get
something
plenty
to
of time.
erase you probably.
That's
I might
right.
go back to
Murder
my
is
base
not
for a
going to be
second.
the target that you're looking to attack right now. You know that he's prepared for whatever you're going to throw at him, and you just don't want to throw it. And it also, Bregan's still dealing with a pretty difficult aura start here. Finally getting some respite with the 4th.
Be mindful
Able
of
to
the
use his
side rolls.
reincarnation without burning it, but going to leave it there just because he's
Keep
probably
playing
aware
passive, I need to
that
keep
there is a
doing it.
flash hole.
Yep.
So
I'm coming over to
just
help you
tough
Murder.
decision making here on his item pickup here, on his skill
Holy
pickup.
shit,
Still,
Arsenal,
you
you
just
are such
attack.
a douchebag
We're
today.
seeing a lot of attacks, not a lot of aura, not a lot of shields. Just a bad start in general.
I've drawn every single attack in the arsenal.
I can't say I've never had that happen to me, and it's very frustrating when it does.
It's like they're bringing in the rain pressure now on Bregan.
That's something that Murder's been gravitating to a lot lately, and it seems to be fairly effective. People don't really bring something to deal with that in that there are only a few skills in the game that can deal with it. Erase Shell is one of them. And Murder's picked up on the fact that it's a skill that not a lot of people use for a couple of reasons. It has a very low breaking point and a very high aura cost, but a very specific use. And I think that it's something that people should maybe pay attention to when they're playing against it. Not to give too much away, but I bet you if you pack Erase Shell against Murder, you're going to have more success than you would if you didn't.
Well, he might not mind breaking your Erase Shell with
It's
a
okay. We're still in good
Firestorm
health.
or whatever, Rain of Fire, I can't remember. But,
Right, I always get confused
yeah.
with those. Even I'll tell you, that might be true. That might be, but I think that these decks that he has
What shield
are
he kept?
generally built around those raid skills,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
could be a bit disconcerting if you lose them.
He still got the purifying.
You're
hand,
right.
I would imagine so.
Pretty even match here altogether. I'd say the upper hand is still the Bregan and PD here, despite the poor aura start Bregan. But that rain attack is doing a little bit of work.
It's like Bregan's being a little hesitant
just
with
ahead
what
of
he's
the
picking
shit.
up here compared to the other
I
teams
think
right now.
maybe we're doing it wrong.
Has he had a defense this match yet?
No.
I believe
he-
yes he
I
did.
can't
He had a
get any
flash
shields,
hole
so
that
I
he
can't get
used
him. Nope.
to burn a rock
And
shot.
He's got the purify, so I can break
As I remember.
the normal shields.
Are you saying no, Bregan? You didn't? I'm pretty sure you burned a rock shot with a flash hole there.
Maybe I was wrong, but I don't think so.
I thought I saw that. I could be wrong. I thought there was a rock shot that went down to a flash hole, but nonetheless, we haven't seen a lot of defenses.
It's okay.
And
Keep
what I
digging
was
for
just
shield,
going
man.
to say to your point is that more than likely, Bregan's being hesitant with his skill pickups because he knows his arsenal through and through, and he understands what he can afford to overwrite, what he can't, and most of what he can't afford to overwrite.
Another heat on bench that I can't use.
It's just
Well, Jay's got one
he
now.
just can't afford to overwrite the things that he has right now. It always hurts getting your tier reincarnations up like that. It's nice to be able to burn one and not worry about it. And the fact that he's now down to his last reincarnation, I know how that feels.
Looks like he finally used the heat. I wonder if it was because Jay also used it. If he feared something like an Armoros, it's gonna
Right.
play on both people's sides.
All right, let's put it in the
Right,
gear.
he's got less fear of the Armoros now that he knows their stats on the other side. Stats is something also that I'm used to seeing on Jay recently, and I don't mean to give too much away about Murder and Jay's arsenals, being that I play against him as much as I do, but I've been seeing a lot of stats out of Jay and a lot of rain out of Murder, so there it is.
No, not really.
How interesting. PD's been running around with the jumper at this level, but he's using the dash to kind of fill in for the cartwheel roll.
I didn't even notice that. It's a good point. PD is. Well, so if I'm not mistaken, hasn't PD historically been a jumper and has only recently switched to cartwheeler, or am I wrong about that?
I'm not 100% sure.
That is correct.
Aha, that's what I thought. So jumper is really his comfort zone, and cartwheeler is just something he's recently been playing with, and doing very well with, if I might add. But for him to transition to jumper here on what as I was commentating on earlier is primarily a jumper favored map makes a lot of sense. Just much more. What's that?
Oh, I remember talking to him a few months ago, and one of his opinions was that you should practice with both characters, but that can also be challenging to pick up and also design arsenals around the different characters. But sometimes it's worth it just to get the different advantages.
Worth noting, there was a flame sword lost to a fortress there, but another one picked up immediately. Still continuing with that rain pressure. Yeah, to your point, that's something that is definitely is worth noting. Certain maps are certainly oriented toward jumpers, and certain others are definitely oriented toward cartwheelers. And so you can gain an advantage that way. PD gonna go down right there to a reincarnation, which was an execution by Bregan just to bring him back up to 10 HP. But what I was saying is, though, that it's definitely a good thing to have both in your skill set, while it can be challenging arsenal-wise.
Nice hit.
Yeah, and even practice-wise, so it's impressive to see it when people pull it off.
It's sort of the total package.
But man, Murder is making this team move around a lot with the constant rain and Jay's rock shot parabola pressures.
It's very difficult to deal with. I've been on the other end of this Arsenal setup a couple of different times, and it's very frustrating.
I think they've been showing good patience with it all though.
Composure,
Alright,
patience,
1 minute to close.
facing the only undefeated team in the tournament, and showing this kind of composure
Got
is
him.
really,
2-1
it's really
lead.
something.
Nearly the last minute of the match, they finally took them down.
Well, that was a pretty fantastic
doing
finish
fine
right there
now.
for Bregan and PD. To be able to come out with a win there despite all the pressure that was
I might,
being
you know,
put up
play the ones where we just take
is
away
nothing short
shields.
of impressive.
The one that doesn't work?
Or I'll play mine. I'll play my shield. I'll play my shields one.
Getting a bit of a glimpse into
Never really
the
tested it.
Bregan Arsenal
I'm also
building
mine.
mind here. I always love this kind of stuff. Oh, look at this.
I'll play my rock
Refresh.
shot there.
How
Uh-huh.
refreshing. Will we see refresh in this
More
match?
rock shot. I love the Arsenal names too. I always love
That's
those.
perfect. Okay.
More rock shot. I love it. Rock shot I do find to be a fairly effective skill on this
Star
map.
shield.
So let's see how
Yeah.
it works for Bregan and PD here.
No, the turbulence. I'm in
We
trouble.
got an early game refresh. I'm sure Bregan is excited about that.
Yes, usually what you want in your starting hand. Although we do see, we see that Jay is boosting his stats, so potentially some punishment capability there if we have an Armoros or a Return to Nature. As I said, I've been seeing a lot of stats
Yeah,
out
there we
of
go.
Jay recently, so something to keep in
Never
mind.
fell off for it, though.
Yeah, I think Bregan's worried about getting his
Oh,
acquisitions
come on,
armor
it's just
roast.
front-loading me all this.
Well, he just drew a double Tiger Strength right
Yeah,
there.
risk it and pick up both
And
tigers.
that's just
Yeah.
no good. I mean, especially against players like Murder and Jay, who are almost guaranteed to be packing a
Another
turbulence.
big bomb.
You know, you just don't want to pick
Just-
I
that
got
up.
a tiger strength off of, sorry, a rock shot off of Jay.
Oh, and the railgun comes early. Just a bad draw here for Bregan. You know, I feel his pain here. This is the kind of thing that makes me just scream at the game. You know, understanding probability and statistics for what they are, building arsenals the way that you do, and then them coming out in the way that is least probable or statistically accurate is just frustrating.
Fortunately, they haven't taken too much damage yet, so they can
I have a dragon
try
Slayer
and
murder.
work around it more than.
Is
You
Stormblade.
see a Stormblade coming out of Murder there, and that
It's
is,
at, 7.
this is a deck that I'm familiar with, that Murder runs, and it is, if I had to say,
you ready to shoot
the
me,
most
Murder?
annoying one to face out of all of his arsenals.
Oh, what?
Very, very difficult to deal with, and very annoying when he executes it properly. Lightning Sword, Stormblade, you'll see Dragon Slayers, it's just downright dirty.
No, come on.
It's meant to deplete your arsenal and make you dig, and there's not a whole lot
What's
you
he
can
got?
do about it if he times it out well with Jay.
Yeah, and
What?
Bregan having to dig a bit, it makes it even worse. If you get a bad hand and you overwrite stuff and then you get Stormbladed,
Right,
how many skills do you have left?
right. The bad start is compounded by the fact that Murder's arsenal is meant to exploit your hand and erase it from you and cause you to dig, which he's already been doing as a result of his draw.
That's the other thing with this level. It can be really challenging to figure out what's the right skill to bring. Like I think they've been having
Damn it,
trouble
this is gonna bite me in the ass, but
getting
here
the
we
right
go.
angle to hit
Drop the
someone.
big bomb.
Maybe even both teams have overall. We're like 3 minutes in and the damage taken is
Alright,
still
let's double up on Murder.
kind
Catch that.
of low end.
No.
Right, and even capsule-wise, we're pretty similar. Both teams have been sort of
Vacuum
hammering
wall.
through their arsenals pretty quickly here.
Busted
He's
through
going to lose his rock shot to the vacuum wall there,
He's got
and
Mask
he
in
did
his
break
other
the
one.
vacuum wall, but I'll bet that Murder
He's
has
running low on
another one
attacks,
in
so he
there, which
accidentally
is
picked up
also
the gun.
another
I got
very
his lightning
annoying
sword.
thing about his arsenal, is that he packs the 2 vacuum walls,
Running out
which you
of
just
attacks.
don't see a lot, but it's very effective.
Yeah, if he doesn't Stormblade you, he'll vacuum wall you.
I've got a
That's
a
right.
Dragon Slayer.
Everything in the deck is meant to take
Oh my
things
God.
out of your hand
Okay.
and cause you to
Is that
dig for
fire?
more until there's nothing left.
I know, rock shot. Oh god, I'm not paying attention. Sorry.
It's alright.
PD is now taking some heavy amount of damage, but it looks
Yeah.
like we're gonna see a.
Dragon
I
Slayer
guess
for Jay
not.
right now.
Just
Or
thinking
never
a
mind.
team kill here.
Yeah,
Think it might be what they want.
It's, you know, maybe one of those situations where they're more willing to just let PD die naturally and go for the
Yeah, I
pickup
agree.
in that they're sort of close to each other.
Yeah.
But they're definitely aware of the fact that he's low HP.
And if Bregan's got to pick up PD, that's another skill that he'll
PD
lose
losing
from
the
his
iron
hand.
skin to the vibration blaster there. It's just not looking good in general for PD and Bregan, just
I have a Judge of Aries.
skill-wise right now. Gonna take 2
Yeah.
debris damage there.
It will kill me.
Bregan's done a good job of managing his abilities, despite having a rough start. The Judge of Aries has come out, and I think that's very favorable to Bregan and PD there. Judge of
A
Aries,
great move too. Because
yeah.
he,
Alright, I got the vibration
by
blast.
killing himself, PD, he didn't lose his shield to Judge of Aries.
Right, and he also freed up the spot for, you know, he made it easy for Bregan to make a choice on which skill to pick up.
Next to you.
Rock shot
not
timing
looking
was pretty
good.
unfortunate, and PD is
Breathe on your
frozen.
base.
This is going to be a difficult pickup, especially with Murder having that Ice Sword. It's just biding his time here, waiting for the right moment. Missing, though, PD taking advantage of it. And it looks like he will get the pickup. And no! Oh!
Great
You're
pickup.
amazing.
He's going to freeze Jay
Okay.
instead. Amazing pickup by PD
Take
there.
both.
Having the patience, having the ability to be aware enough. And Murder just not executing the way that he intended.
No, come on.
Again with the
Every
missed
single
timing
time I
on
lose on the
the
timing.
rock shot with
Every
Bregan.
single
Unfortunate.
time I'm 1 second behind. Come on.
Jay just doing
Jay-
well with the rock shot.
Jay's like, I got rock shot too.
Yeah, I mean, if he's facing the rock shot
What do you
king,
think?
you know, if
Try
you
and hold
can't
him to a
beat him,
draw
join
here?
him, right?
I don't know if you can.
And I've been
What?
seeing a lot of rock shot out of
Yeah.
Jay recently, to be honest, and
Somebody
he uses it
keep
very
it
well
on.
in conjunction with
yeah.
Murder, and it's difficult to get around. The two of them have been beating Kanye and I probably 8 out of 10 matches in recent times, and it's just
No,
it's
damn
frustrating.
it.
Alright. Alright, let's close out on City. Let's spawn our.
Wow. So we see
The-
another win.
just the-
Tiger Strength lasers.
Just the grind down there.
You wanna do that?
PD and Bregan.
Alright.
They-
Then I'll play something
You know,
good, busting
you,
flash.
you
hole.
try and they did get a little more
This
damage
is also
while
good.
they were getting
Busting
grinded down,
flash
but
hole.
it just
Yeah.
it was
Alright.
too much in
Holy shit,
Murder
I
and
lost
Jay's
on
favor
timing
that
by half a
match.
second. Every single rock
That's
shot.
okay.
Well,
Don't
so
worry about
some
it.
of that you
Don't
have to
worry about
say
it. We have one
goes
game.
to
These guys are a top
Arsenal
team.
draw, but I
They're
wonder
playing
if
to
maybe
stay
some of
alive,
it is
right?
Arsenal building too.
I
You
just-
know,
I had
maybe
acquisition and everything. I
maybe
should've
Murder and
used
Jay
those
built their
trades
arsenals
already.
just a little bit better so that they draw a little bit better. Or maybe it's true that Bregan and PD just
And I'd
threw
never even
a
hit
little bit
him.
worse,
Not
and
once.
and that's the
I
nature of the
decided
beast
it.
with Phantom Dust. You know, it doesn't always boil down necessarily to who had the most cerebral build or who had the best
good.
idea of what was going on. It can really just be who had the best luck of the draw. So I'm not sure what was the case there, but in any event, we have ourselves a pretty fantastic finale of a match here to watch.
Dash and an iron skin now.
Yeah, I think Murder and Jay
Watch out for Murder.
capitalized on
He's coming up. Never mind.
that match. Right?
Jay's in the open too.
Right
We might have
here.
our best shot might be.
Yeah, well, we see no
Still-
shield on Murder and Jay right now.
I'm just gonna get in position to Tiger
But
Strength
Bregan's got the
with my
bad
two
spawn, but
He's got a
At least
pretty
he's got
sweet hand
defense.
here.
Oh,
Oh,
you
and that
fucker.
turbulence is gonna be big, and I'm not sure who
Of course
came
you
out
have
of the
that
fight. I
shit
guess it
right
was
off
probably Jay, as he packs a lot of those. That really, that's gonna be a huge difference maker here, as Bregan was going to be able to apply some pretty serious pressure with that dancing
Oh, come
tiger
on.
strength. I mean, dash and tiger strength, and that's just
I got rid of
immediately
Murder's laser.
nullified as a threat with that turbulence. Gonna lose the twist laser as well right there too, if I had to guess, would be a dark hole, as Murder did lose 1 HP. He's got a tiger strength of his own, and an iron skin is gonna be broken there by
I'm in the pit.
What was
with
that?
Focus against double Rian and fire.
it was Fire Gehenna. Bregan's
Ah.
in a very bad spot. But
being
maybe
between the
PD
two.
can get some cheap shots in.
Doing work with that blaster though, despite being
Yeah.
bitch spawn, if you will.
Yeah, if you know you're gonna take damage, you might as well try and do some back.
Sure, yeah, dole it out. That's just an
Damn it.
unfortunate situation when you
Come on,
get
give me
pinned between the
something.
two, though. And Murder has that.
Here, come on up to my base.
Murder has that
I got a reflector there,
laser
but he's gonna
pressure,
bust it
and
without
it's going to
me.
be just constant. It's going to
Yeah.
be something that's not going to be easy to deal with at all. Reflect Mirror might help a little bit, but
I'm dead right next to you.
This is starting to look a little grim.
Drop.
he did break the flash hole on Jay with his blaster.
Okay, I got lasers.
I need something else other than
His
this.
vibration is online now, finally,
Yep.
but if I had to guess, Jay and Murder are going to have an answer for that. Reflect Mirror twice does
Aura
send
cannon
it
right in
back
the
to
face.
Jay, but the Aura Cannon will connect. Another
Oh my
Reflect
God, I
Mirror
killed
is
Trash.
good.
Come as close
Jay
to me as
gets
you
away
can.
from it
I'm
just
dead, but I
narrowly.
killed Jay.
Jay is and that
Oh
is
my fuck.
wow. And that's gonna do it for
Bitch spawn too
round
strong.
7. I mean, just a bad spawn there. And that's one of the things that I'll tell you what, I have my set of disgruntlements with the game, but one of them is certain maps spawning you in situations that are just clearly disadvantageous. And I don't want to take anything away from Jay and Murder there, but I don't like it when I spawn in between teams on city or when I spawn up on the highway with no defense. There are certain spots where you can just kind of be at a pretty serious disadvantage. And I guess that all factors into it. It's part of, the pick direction thing. But in general, strong play out of Murder and Jay. We saw some unfortunate draws from Bregan. We got to witness it firsthand there. And maybe when Bregan's getting tilted, sometimes it's not necessarily for no reason, as we just saw.
Well, you gotta hand it to him on City. They destroyed Bregan's dash. They destroyed his iron skin. I think they took out another shield, and I think what Bregan was left with maybe a reflect mirror, and they managed to just, it was not enough for Bregan, even though he had all that defense. They managed to just wear it out, and that was just a great play on their part.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Arsenal building came into play for sure. I think that Murder and Jay really, really went out of their way to do as well as they could planning for this match, knowing that they were facing as formidable of opponents as they were. I know this firsthand because I played against them, against the Arsenals that they were packing for them. And interestingly enough, my play style isn't too far away from that of Bregan. So I myself was falling victim to a lot of this stuff, and it's very frustrating. When they are building their arsenals well and they know what you're going to bring, really the only way that you can beat them is to not bring what they think you're going to. And I think that might have been a little bit what came into play here. Now, we saw some bad draws from Bregan, and that's true, but we also saw some good planning from Jay and Murder. I mean, we didn't see the perspective of PD. We saw some great pickups, some great play overall, and some just fantastic moments. But overall, I think that the win from Jay and Murder was probably deserved here.
Sandal actually crashed, so he's gone.
Oh, we lost Sandal. Okay, well, I mean, I guess that'll wrap it up here for the round 7 matchup between Bregan and PD versus Jay and Murder. Obviously, a pretty exciting match, an upset, if I had to say. Bregan and PD coming into this without having lost a single game, now losing the match to Jay and Murder. Jay and Murder having faced elimination, showing signs of life here, and showing that they are that just top tier team that everybody sort of knows they are, having had some pretty poor turnouts in their previous matches. I think this bodes well for the tournament going forward in that we still have a pretty competitive series here, and there's no clear-cut winner. So I felt like it was an exciting match. I hope everybody enjoyed watching, and thanks for watching.